Hello students, I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to discuss some important practical questions in Python based on chapter 1 and 2. Our question number 1 says find the matching pairs of expressions and values. So about this question we have learned in the topic data types in the previous video that there are various data types in Python. So the first part says 1023. As we know that the numbers without any fractional part are integers, so in this case 1023 is a positive number without any fractional part. So this is integer number, so its data type is int. Next is true, the first letter is capital. So any variable whose output is in the form of true or false, that will be considered as a boolean type. So here the true is of type boolean. Next is the number 17.54. Here the number 17.54 has a decimal point or it has a fractional part, that is 54, so it is a float number. And the next is my fat cat with underscore between the words and the full word enclosed in the double quotes. So this is a string type. String is basically a collection of characters enclosed in single quotes or double quotes. So here let us revise it again. 1023 is a number without any fractional part, so it is of int type. True or false come under boolean type. This is a number with the fractional part, so it is of float type. And this is a word enclosed in double quotes and the underscores are there between the words, so it is of string type. I hope question number 1 is clear to you. Now let us come to question number 2. Write the Python expression equivalent to the following arithmetic expression. Some arithmetic expressions are given to us. Expression means in which there are operands as well as the operators. Operands means, like first example is there, here a, b and 2 are operands and this plus and divide sign are the operators. Now we have to change it into the Python expression. So let us start with the first part. The first part says a plus b whole divided by 2. So in this case we have a plus b by 2. So we are going to write it like a plus b and the division symbol we'll use is this one by 2. So this is our first part. Now second one is 3 square plus 9 cube by 2. So for the power we have the exponential operator. We will say 3 2. What is the meaning of this? That is 3 raised to the power 2. Now plus sign 9 cube. So 9 exponential operator 3, put it in the parenthesis, by 2. So this is our second part. This hash symbol and the number, this is the part number and hash is for the comment. Next is 3 square plus 9 cube by 5. Now here the difference is, in the second part the full number was divided by 2, but here we have to do the square of 3 first and then we have to divide the cube of 9 by 5. So we have to write it like this: 3 exponential operator 2 plus 9 exponential operator 3 by 5. Since 9 cube by 5 is one expression, so we will put it in the parenthesis like this. I hope it is clear. Then next is 2 plus a plus 2 by b. So putting it in the parenthesis, a plus 2 by b. So this is our fourth answer. So this is the way you have to convert the arithmetic expression into Python expression. There will be some more questions given to you which you can solve and try them. Now the next question is, consider the following statements in Python interpreter and describe the output or statement required. Now we have to do this in the interpreter, and the first part says print a message hello world. Now you know that for printing any output on the screen we have the print statement or the print function. So we'll write here print hello world. So this is the way you have to write it, and this is your output. So the output is hello world typed in blue color. Now the second question is a equals to 10, b equals to 12, c equals to a plus b. So when this type of questions are given, first of all you should try to solve it on the paper or pen and then try it as a practical. You can do it. Let us try it now here. A equals to 10, b equals to 12, c is equal to a plus b. Print c. So the answer will be 10 plus 12 is 22. So the answer here is 22. The third part says to retrieve the data type of the inputted string hello stored inside the variable a. Here we have a variable a in which hello is to be stored. So first of all we have to take a variable a and store hello in this one like this. Then it says retrieve the data type. It means we have to tell ki a stores what type of variable. So we have learned that whenever we have to find the data type of any variable, so for that the function is type and the name of the variable. Here the name of the variable is a. So here it has shown that this variable a, which consists of hello, it belongs to the class string. Next question now says D part, to describe the data type of variable b. So here we have seen that b is equal to 12. As you know, it consists of a number without any fractional part. So what would be the data type of b? Let us check it. Again, type function we will use in the parenthesis b. So it says class int, that is it belongs to the class of integer type. Next is to retrieve the address of the variable a and b. Whenever we have to find the address of the variable a and b, means address of any variable we have to find. In that case our function is id, and in the bracket or in the parenthesis write down the name of the variable. So this answer which is coming, you have seen that here it is coming 617594556. This will be different for different students because the memory location may not be same for each and everyone. So if you have to find the address, you have to use the function id and in the parenthesis the variable. So this is the memory location where the variable a is stored. Next is id b. So this is again the memory location of the variable b. E part is complete. Now let us come to the f part. D equals to b, d b. So here we'll write down a variable d. What is the meaning of this statement? Here it means that whatever is the value of b now will go in the variable d. The value of b was 12, so now the value of d also becomes 12. Now here it is written d, so the value of d becomes 12. Now we say b is also 12. Now we say id of d and id of b, that is the memory location of both. Id of d, this is the location of d, and id of b, this is the location of b. Now you can see here the both locations are coming same. Why they are coming same? Because here d equals to b means their value is equal, so they are also stored at the same memory location. Next question says a equals to hello and a into 10. hello is a string here and it is stored in the variable a. So whenever this operator is applied to any string, it will print the string that number of times. We have written a into 10, so it will print hello 10 times without any space between the words. Let us see the output. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, and the next is to display the value for a square, a cube and a raised to the power 4. So in this case the value of a is hello and initially the value of a was 10. So we have to again take the value of a as 10 because otherwise the power cannot be calculated. So in this case we make a is equal to 10. Now as we have seen here that for power we have to use the exponentiation operator. So here we use the exponentiation operator. We say a, so 10 multiplied by 10, 2 times 10 is 100, then we say 3 times. Oh, we have used, there is an error, we have used it 3 times. 1000, then a 4 times, 10,000. Okay, so this is the power operator. 10 raised to the power 2 is 100, 10 raised to the power 3, 10 into 10 into 10 is 1000, and 10 raised to the power 4 is 10,000. Clear? Now let us move to our last part of this question. A equals to 15, B equals to 4. A equals to 15, B equals to 4. Now it says A by B. So it means which operation is being carried out here? Here we are performing division. So when 15 is divided by 4, 4 3s are 12, remainder is 3, 30, 4 7s are 28, remainder is 2, 20, 4 5s are 20. So here the answer is 3.75. Now let us check this one. Here the answer is only 3. So the difference between the division operator and the floor division operator, where this sign is known as the division operator and this two division signs are known as a floor division operator. The difference between both is that the division operator gives us the number with the decimal part also, but the floor division operator gives us a number with the only integer part. Out of 3.75, the integer part is 3, so that will be given as answer in the floor division operator. Now these all are complete. Let us revise them once again. The first question was print a message hello world. So we have used the print statement hello world. So the output is this. The second question was a equals to 10, b is equal to 12, c is equal to a plus b, print c. So here 10 plus 12, they are stored in c. The answer is 22. Now we have printed c here, so the answer is 22. The third question says we have to find out the type of the variable a which stores the value hello. So for that we have a function type. In the parenthesis we have written a. So it gives the output as of type string. Similarly b has a value 12. So with the help of type function, when we find out the data type of b, it says int. If you want to find out the memory location or address of any variable, then you have to use the variable or function id. Okay, now next question was d is equal to b. It means whatever is the value of b, the same value has to be stored in the variable d. b was 12, d also becomes 12. Here you can see the both values are same. Now when you will see the memory location of both the variables, you will find that they are stored at the same memory location as the value is same. Next is a is equal to hello. Now a into 10. Whenever a string is to be written so many number of times, we use this multiply operator and it will give us the output that number of times with no space between them. Next is a is equal to 10. Here we have to find out the value of a square, a cube and a raised to the power 4. So here we have to take a is equal to 10 because in this case the value of a has become hello. So 10 multiplied 2 times 100, 10 multiplied 3 times 1000 and 10 multiplied 4 times 10,000. Next is the division operator and the floor division. The division operator gives us the value with the decimal part, whereas the floor division operator gives us the decimal value without the decimal part. Now the next question is, write a program to find the perimeter of square and area and perimeter of rectangle. So in the last video we have discussed the area and perimeter of circle. So now let us discuss of square and rectangle. So this is our script mode. First we are going to find out the area of square. This is a comment. Now for square, what do we need? Side. We say we have to take input from the user as side, then we have to apply the formula side into side, that is processing, and then we have to give the output to the user with the help of the print statement. So we say s equals to input, enter the side. S area is square area equals to S multiplied by S. Then print area of square is S area. Now we have to find out the perimeter also. So here only we can give P equals to 4 multiplied by S. Again we'll give one print statement, print perimeter of square is P. Now in order to run this, first we have to save this file. Let us save with the name square, and now we will run this file. So it says enter the side. Let us enter the side as 5. It says error. Why the error is coming? See why the error is coming, because here we have entered the value as integer and here we have entered the value as string, because input function by default takes the value as string. So we need to give here integer function, int input, enter the side. Let us run it again. Now enter the side. Let us give 6. Again it says error. The name S area is not defined. Why this error is coming? Because here by mistake we have left the variable the letter A. Side. So here our side is suppose 8. So now the correct output is coming. Area is 64 and perimeter is 32. 8 multiplied by 8 is 64 and perimeter is 32. Okay, the same way you have to calculate the area of rectangle. So in this case let us change the code here only. Let us make it now area of rectangle. And in case of this we want to enter the length and the breadth. So we take it as enter the length and make it instead of S, L. Again B is equal to int input, enter the breadth. Now we have to find out the area. So let us make it as R area, and the area is length multiplied by breadth, and the perimeter is 2 multiply L plus B. Clear? Now the area is R area and the perimeter is stored in P only. So when we run this program, we'll see the output. It says enter the length. Suppose we have taken the length as 4, breadth as 5. So the area is length into breadth, 4 into 5, 20, and 2 into L plus B. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. So the answer is correct. I hope you have understood the today's questions based on the programs as well as some questions based on the arithmetic expressions. In case still any doubt is there, you can ask. In the next video, we'll move on the further topics. Till then, keep practicing. Thank you.